So the candidates chess tournament has now finished, and if we look at my predictions, we can see I was wrong. In fact, you can see here from my tier list, I was very wrong. I was correct in some places, also known as Abasov coming in last place. However, I did put Gukesh in 7th place, and this is my formal apology to Gukesh, okay? Gukesh, I'm sorry. I was not familiar with your game. You're just too good at chess, and I'm sorry for underrating you so much. So for those of you who don't know, Gukesh actually won the Candidates World Chess Championship, and that means he is the youngest person that ever qualified to play in the Candidates World Chess Championship. And if he wins and beats Ding Liren, that means by default he will be the youngest person to ever win the World Chess Championship, which is insane. And for those of you wondering, Nordibek Abdusatorov did win the World Rapid Chess Championship when he was 17 years old, but that's not the Classical World Championship. So even though it was an incredible achievement, I think becoming the Classical World Champion is a bit more of a higher rated sort of dream and ambition that a lot of people go for. So I think it's maybe a higher achievement in a way. So in this video, we're talking about who I think is going to win the World Chess Championship between Ding Liren and Gukesh, the Moraju. Now, if we have a look at recent form, Ding Liren hasn't actually been doing too well. Ding Liren is currently our reigning World Chess Champion, and unfortunately, based on his recent games, his quality of chess has severely decreased. And that, I think, is mainly due to the amount of stress and pressure that he dealt with during the World Chess Championship, where actually a year ago yesterday, he won. I'm filming this on the 1st of May 2024, and on the 30th of April 2023, Ding Liren won the World Chess Championship. And it was a chaotic chess championship. There was a lot of decisive games, and Ding Liren even lost on time, basically, during one of the games. And I think this sort of proves how much pressure he was actually under, not only from himself, but also from, his seconds and his family maybe, and like the whole chess world as a self. There was a lot of people watching this match, and to put yourself under that much pressure after you're spending so much time and money investing into this in order to try and sort of assure yourself that you're going to win it is a very hard thing to do. And I think Ding Liren's chess as a whole has sort of suffered after that. And unfortunately, it's not just me who thinks that. There's been a lot of people online who have been wondering about how Ding's form is going to be in the World Chess Championship this next time. And in fact, Magnus Carlsen himself, who is the highest rated chess player of all time, if you weren't aware, actually said that he doesn't think that Ding Liren's going to be able to defend his title against anybody who will be challenging him in the next World Chess Championship. This was before the candidates' tournament actually concluded. So we had no idea who would be challenging him, and he said out all of the candidates, he doesn't think Ding Liren will be able to defend his title. I think Ding Liren's in a really tough spot in going into this next championship cycle, and it's going to be incredibly hard for him if he's going to stay with the same group of people that he was with during his last year's chess championship triumph. So Richard Rapport was actually Ding Liren's second, and I think that if he stays with Richard Rapport and everything, it might be even more difficult for him to sort of retain his title due to Gukesh already knowing, okay, this guy has worked with Richard Rapport, so there's going to be some offbeat opening ideas. I can sort of mentally prepare for that and look at Richard Rapport's past games and see what type of sidelines he goes for, what type of openings he goes for, and sort of his style of play, as well as also preparing for Ding Liren's style of play as well. It sort of puts Ding Liren at a disadvantage already out of the opening, but he still also has to deal with the fact that he's had a huge mental toll on him from playing in the last World Chess Championship, and how he's going to deal with that coming into the next World Chess Championship, especially due to the fact that he hasn't been playing too much recently, and has suffered some poor results when he has been playing. I absolutely love Ding Liren. I love his style of games and everything, and I really was very happy when he won the last World Chess Championship. However, I think going into the next World Chess Championship, it's not looking great for him. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Going into this tournament, however, Gukesh is kind of at a tiny disadvantage in the sense of experience, with Dinglaran being 31, I think, and Gukesh being 17 at the time of me filming this. He might be 18 by the time the World Chess Championship starts. In fact, he will be. And recently there's sort of been this argument and this sort of display of who's going to triumph over each other. Is it going to be the experienced player, i.e. Dinglaran, winning because he's had more experience and has been playing chess for a much longer time than Gukesh, or is the youth going to triumph? So is Gukesh going to bring in some new ideas that hasn't really been seen before? And because he's young, is he going to, you know, sort of be quicker with his thinking and everything? We all know that Dinglaran has some trouble sometimes with time control. So managing that is extremely, extremely important for Gukesh when he goes into this next World Chess Championship. However, overall, I do think that Gukesh has more of an advantage going into this tournament than Dinglaran does. Not only has Gukesh basically just triumphed over some of the top players in the world, in fact, you know, Hikaru's playing against Jan Nepomniachtchi, Fabiano Caruana, a lot of high-rated players, and have beaten the whole field, basically, in order to get that first place position, to then go and challenge Dinglaran. It's a very tough thing to do. And based on the quality of Gukesh's chess during these games, I do truly think that Gukesh has a higher advantage and is more likely to actually be able to press against Dinglaran's style of chess and be able to sort of challenge him extremely well for that title. And I also think it'd be extremely cool if, you know, he did become the youngest World Chess Championship. So there is a bit of bias there. In addition to this as well, we don't know necessarily who Gukesh's seconds and his whole team as a whole is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be the same as it was during the candidates tournament, or if he's going to be employing use of, you know, Vishy Anand. Extremely good chess player. If you don't know who Vishy Anand is, you're missing out on some extremely good chess, and you should really look into him. I think as well, if Gukesh wins this World Chess Championship, then there's going to be a huge surge in popularity in chess in India as well, which would be incredibly cool due to the last time there was an incredible surge in chess in India was with Vishy Anand becoming world champion, and Vishy Anand changed the whole scene of chess in India for the entire future. In fact, Vishy Anand is the reason why a lot of the top Indian chess players now are playing chess, because they found him so inspirational and was such a good player that, you know, it sort of sounds silly not to think, oh, I want to be like him. I want to play chess because of how well he plays chess and he represents me. Like, he's from your country, that type of thing. So if Gukesh wins this next World Chess Championship, I think that the entire future of chess in India is going to explode again, and there's going to be an entire new generation that look up to Gukesh, especially seeing as how young he is, and thinking, maybe I can be like that. And if you're listening to this, you can be like that. If you're young, you can go into chess and you can be incredibly good at it and enjoy it. So yeah, let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the World Chess Championship, and I will see you guys in the next one. All my social media is in the description. Bye!